Our society is constantly bombarding us with things we need to do to lose weight, tone up, or simply change our bodies. But thinking you always need to be on a juice cleanse or eating only salad is so far from the right mindset. I always wish I could go back and educate my younger self on how to properly stay healthy and fit. And some people might think being fit is just having muscle definition or toning up. But let me tell you, the mindset change, the difference in your energy levels and clear skin, and just freedom to live life happily is the real glow up. So today I'm going to sit down and tell you how I changed my mindset over time and how it can help you too to live your best and healthiest life and feel the most confident and happy in your body and give your body the ability to do everything it needs to live a full and happy life. Okay, I'm just gonna dive right into it. I feel like a big part of any health or fitness journey is obviously food and the diet you're eating, and a lot of times people immediately get so focused on fat, carbs, protein, aka your macros. To me personally, I find that such a problematic approach to fitness and health, and I have never been one to count calories or look at food or my diet as macros and just breaking it down into categories. But I know a lot of people, when they start off on their fitness or weight loss journeys, they tend to go into it with an approach of, oh, does this fit my macros? Does this fit the amount of calories I want to be eating in a day? Educate yourself on the foods you're eating, not just for weight loss, but for your overall health and diet, because it really can impact so many areas of your life. So don't just go watch your favorite influencers, which might sound a little hypocritical because I'm just making this video. Go and trust Google. You want to educate yourself, and by that I mean read books or watch videos that professional health experts make. I'm going to insert 2 books I've read that really changed my life. And one of them is this book, which taught me so much about how food impacts our health mentally and physically, and kind of teaches this approach of viewing food as medicine. And secondly, there's this book, which is less about food and diet, but more about our mind and body connection, which really shows the amazing impact that how our mental space can affect our actual physical well-being and body. What we eat affects so much more than how we look, and I think it's really important to realize that if you're getting started on a health and fitness journey. Okay, the next thing I want to talk about that I feel like obviously a lot of people focus on when they're trying to get into their fitness journey is exercise. And as much as your favorite health or wellness influencer might want to make you think that there's a one-size-fits-all approach, that is so far from the truth. I think when a lot of people initially get into fitness, especially at a young age, if they haven't played a sport, they think they need to run for miles or do a HIIT exercise every day, which yet again is not true. There's not one prescribed type of exercise for every person that's going to work. And finding exercise that is 1, sustainable, and 2, enjoyable, I think is super key for your mental and physical health, or even if you have physical goals. So I grew up playing a sport, so I was always active, and that was never hard for me. I also grew up in a pretty active family, but that being said, when I took a year off from playing my sport, it was a little challenging to figure out how to stay active. But as an athlete who stopped playing their sport, let me tell you that it's not going to change your physical body that much. It's more just about staying active, not being sedentary. That's very key. It's all about balance and mixing up your forms of exercise. So my advice to anyone who wants to start moving more is to walk, which might sound easy, but a lot of people actually do not walk enough. It is so good for you, so underrated, so good for you. Just walking every day alone can be a great way to start your fitness journey. Secondly, I would really recommend doing activities that are fun but also active. There are so many activities like that really are exercise but don't feel like it. Tennis, doing beach walks or runs, going paddle boarding, surfing because I live near the ocean, or biking with my family, going on walks with family and friends, just things like that are super enjoyable, super sustainable, and you can kind of find what you enjoy the most. So mixing those types of activities in with, for example, a couple days weightlifting at the gym could be really helpful to kickstart your routine. And as cheesy as it sounds, being active can be really fun. Don't make it daunting and drill yourself into the ground and go in with this all or nothing mindset, because that is going to be more detrimental in the end to your mental and physical health. Okay, next I want to talk about alternatives when it comes to food. And no, I'm not going to tell you to drink Diet Coke or eat Halo Top ice cream instead of regular ice cream. So I personally never go for anything labeled low fat or diet when it comes to food or desserts, because all that stuff usually has so many chemicals added into it to make up for the actual sugar or other fattening ingredients that would be in it. And as a result, those ingredients are super highly processed, usually pretty toxic for your body, and going to cause a lot of inflammation and gut issues if you consume them on a regular basis. Pretty much everything is best in moderation, obviously, so you can eat those things if you truly enjoy them. I've been there in the past thinking that a sugar-free protein bar is going to be the healthiest for me, and I thought it was so good to eat like multiple of those a day as opposed to like real whole foods. And let me tell you, eating real whole foods is always going to be the answer, even if you think something is high calorie or fattening or has too much of this or that. In the end, everything in moderation is super key, and eating whole foods is going to be better for your gut health, your overall well-being, and just your physical body. Let me give some examples of substitutes I'm talking about incorporating in your day-to-day life, and that doesn't mean every day, it just means more often than not. For example, instead of super highly processed white bread, I'll eat sourdough bread or a seeded bread that has minimal ingredients, and honestly, I prefer the taste of that. And if you don't, try swapping that out every once in a while. Another example is I like to have protein pastas made out of like chickpeas or lentils or something like that, or brown rice as opposed to normal pasta. And also, you can find pasta made with regular wheat that is made with better quality types of wheat. There's just so many alternatives out there these days that there's really no excuse to not make healthier changes for your lifestyle. And if you have pasta once in a while, just have the regular pasta. That is also completely fine. As I'm stressing, moderation is super key when it comes to any health or fitness journey, any weight loss journey. I just like to eat things that overall make me feel better and are going to help my body move in the way that I want to be able to. I believe in healthier substitutes, but not the diet alternatives. Those are going to do more harm than good, so keep that in mind. The next main point I want to touch on is home cooked meals and then overall just balance. I know cooking can feel like a lot of effort, but let me tell you, it will make such a difference in your health, how you feel, how sluggish and tired you feel, how your skin looks. Cooking and eating food with ingredients at home that you can see what's going into your food is a game changer. When you eat out, there's so much that goes into the food that you don't see that they use to obviously make the food taste the best. Specifically starting on a fitness journey, I would recommend getting into cooking, because then you know exactly what is going into your food. Yet again, on this note, I know people can definitely get obsessive, and that's why I also really want to include balance. You're not going to last very long if you're just cooking brown rice with a chicken breast and some unseasoned broccoli every day. One thing I want to try to drill into everyone's head, and that I wish I could have told myself when I was younger, is balance is always key. Experience, I've never felt better than when I decided to live a super balanced lifestyle. That means that I eat at home, I make delicious healthy meals that I genuinely enjoy. I'm never forcing myself to eat a meal that I don't like, and also not every meal has to be a meal you enjoy. Sometimes it's just purely functional and something to get you through the day. Try to eat good healthy alternatives, whole foods. Whenever I want to eat out, when I'm lazy, when my family's going out to dinner or my friends want to go get ice cream, I go do that with zero guilt behind that, because life is meant to be lived, and the mental stress wrapped up in if you're trying to be perfect is, yet again, as I keep saying, going to be detrimental. Even if you try to live that life for like a year or two, eventually it's going to catch up to you, and it's best to just approach everything with a balanced mindset. And I know it might sound a little cheesy, but I want to live a long, healthy life personally, and what we put into our bodies and how we move really does impact that. So I really want to impress upon anyone watching this video that not eating meat, eating less of this or that, or cutting out certain foods isn't actually going to make you healthier or lose a ton of weight. Obviously, different diets work for different people. For some people, certain things are going to work that aren't going to work for you. I've always had a huge focus on just my health for my mental space, and I've thought that some of those things were making me healthier or would make me healthier in the past. When I really just listened to my body and realized I could eat whatever foods I wanted as long as I was focusing on primarily whole foods and foods that actually were going to nourish me, that's when I started to feel the best and the most mental clarity and freedom. And obviously this is excluding like allergies. If you're allergic to dairy, allergic to gluten, I am a little sensitive to gluten and some forms of dairy. So like avoiding that sometimes can be beneficial, but obviously that aside, don't cut out any food groups that you don't need to. So if you're looking in the mirror and thinking you don't like the way your body looks, you don't like the way you feel, you're waking up feeling inflamed or tired every day, first of all, think of your body and all the amazing things it does. And on top of that, don't just appreciate that, but then use that as your motivation to think of all the positive changes that you can make to improve your mindset and your relationship to your lifestyle and your body and the way you approach fitness. So I hope these tips can truly help transform someone's life, and I hope that it can help anyone who clicked on this video who wants to make a change in their life.